time to rise and shine.
Something strange is happening to Shay and her dog, Kitty.
Today's story may be a difficult yarn of terror. Something that brings a horror that's a little too real for today's world. Laura Kendall has never made the greatest decisions in her life. Once, a beauty who wasted her life with fantasy expectations. It was supposed to be a life of happiness, an escape from the world she was raised in. Which is how Laura was so easily charmed with the soothing promises of love and happiness. But like all fairy tales, is a world of grief, pain, and constant fear. And the only happiness Laura knows is her son Andrew. Laura had dreams of being a mother, a family, a home, an opportunity to give a child the same love that she never got. Yes, Laura got everything she wanted, just not the way she wanted, which is why Laura didn't have any plans for Andy. For obvious reasons, she wasn't ready for a child. Everything turned into an unremitting horror after she got pregnant with Andrew. Laura truly wanted to be a mother, but didn't know how to. Maybe because she was too afraid to turn out worse than her mother. But I think something changed within Laura after bringing Andy into this world. Yes, the fear was still there, but there was a devotion for her son's happiness. Life was hard, but it did not hinder Laura from seeing Andy grow and thrive, to live a life that she never had, and make better decisions, and most of all, to be a stronger man than his father. If she could, Laura would give her child anything, a mother who is willing to do anything for Andy. Even if her son loves that strange, dirty little puzzle box that came from a cart of used toys that she got from the flea market earlier today. Seeing her boy's fascination with the strange toy cube, she would dare not interrupt Andy's happiness with the object. To learn the secrets of the silly puzzle box, how Laura yearns for the day when hearing her little boy say his first words, when he takes his first steps, any moment now. No more fairy tales for Laura. It's no longer about her. Once upon a time, Laura used to find comfort within Jack Kendall's soothing words and gentle touch. A bad boy who used to make Laura feel like the luckiest girl in the world, taken away by his loving arms and running away together, getting married and living happily ever after. Now look at her, struggling to pay the bills on a trailer park home, cowering to her husband's drunken voice, berating her for wasting his hard-earned money on a box of junk for their kid. Jack watched the child's fixation with the toy box in his hands, pouring the remaining whiskey on her child. A drunken father who did not fray from reminding Laura of his disgust, envy, and resentment for his son. How many times must he remind Laura to stop wasting money on that boy? So what if it's used clothing, used toys, waste of money? He never wanted a child. And seeing his wife's defiance, the only thing Jack cares about is what's best for Jack, right? There was once a time when Jack used to touch Laura's face so gently and with love. Now a drunk who never hesitated in reminding Laura of her place with a few strikes across the face. It's not like she can go anywhere. It's not like she has anywhere else to go. Laura has no family, no friends, nothing in this world but Jack. And that's all she needs. Little Andrew never understood why Jack would hurt his mother. But the child understood the sound of anger, and that his mother loves him, and even understood it when Jack was hurting his mother, and that Big Jack would want to hurt him too. Most of all, little Andrew was understanding the whispers coming from the toy box in his little hands. These musical voices telling the infant that he has the power to change things. If only Andy can work the box, work the puzzle, to learn its secrets. And seeing the box move, unraveling itself, a warming glow erupting in the child's hand. Andy did it. His mommy will be so happy when knowing that her son solved the box, that everything is going to change. Mommy is going to be happy. When their forms appeared from the blinding lights that filled half of Andy's room, they were identical sisters, one with the crystal eyes, as with the other with a musical voice. There was no happiness nor sadness upon them, only a devotion to pain and pleasure. These were beings beyond good and evil, beyond sin. Their pale flesh, both violated and artistically decorated with medals and self-inflicted wounds, they carried a scent of sweet vanilla. Nothing made sense of the sisters but the horrors of unexplored pain and suffering. Their presence was not meant for this world. The Cenobite Sisters of Pain, they were called upon. On behalf of Leviathan, they have come. When looking upon the drunken male and the battered female before him, the sisters were familiar with the scenery. But the Cenobite sisters did not anticipate a child who summoned them, an innocent that has no understanding of their ways. The sisters have no use for the infant. Their realm is no place for innocence. However, the child did summon them, willingly, and the seal has been broken between hell and earth. The schism cannot be closed unless they take what is theirs. And Jack holding Laura back as the Cenobites grabbed Andrew, the Sisters of Pain must collect what is now theirs. And Laura trying to free herself from Jack, a mother trying to stop the demons from taking her crying child, pleading for Jack to stop them from leaving with their son. Jack Kendall saw this as an answer to his selfish misery, for he had no intentions of wanting to stop the sisters. So they came for the child. That's good. Let them take it away. It's not like they need the child anymore. Now it could just be him and Laura. That's all he needs. Because that is what's best for Jack Kendall. And the Cenobite sisters acknowledging Jack's intentions for not letting the mother prevent the inevitable. His human ignorance believing that this was the workings of a higher power working on his behalf. Before leaving with the child, the Cenobites wanted Jack to know that if it was their choice, they would choose him. His delicious pain will be legendary in hell. Too bad they're bound by the law of Leviathan, for they have no choice. And what Laura imagined to be the happiest moment in her life when hearing Andy saying his first words would break her heart when hearing Andy screaming for his mother as he was being taken away by the Cenobite sisters. All these years, it was about her, but not anymore, which is why Laura struck Jack to free herself, immediately running towards the portal. There was no care for the painful consequences for attacking her drunken husband. As of now, she had no care for Jack's cruelty, his jealousy, his drunken rage. The only thing Laura cared for was going to hell and getting her son back, and managing to pass through the portal before it turned solid. Seeing the Cenobite sisters in the distance, ignoring her pleas for them to stop as Andy kept crying for his mother, having no care for Laura nor her existence, for they now know that Laura Kendall was alone. In hell, her existence is meaningless. Welcome to hell, Laura Kendall. Those years of witnessing her fairy tale wither and rot, happiness and love turning into grief, a princess who's been enjoying a fable with her head down and her mouth kept shut. Fear had gotten the better of Laura Kendall, until the moment she realized that it was no longer about her. Hints of rebellion would come with bruises, blood, and broken bones, but amidst the fear of pain, Laura's persistence for Andy's happiness began to grow more frequent, as with the beatings becoming more violent. Nothing was going to stop Laura from seeing her child grow strong and live a life that she never got. Nobody was going to stop her. Not Jack, nor these demons. Now entering hell and not having a care for her way back home, Laura was going to go all the way for Andy, and there was no turning back. Immediately, Laura caught up with the sisters and attacked them before grabbing her child and running off into the darkened hell. Silly woman with their silly fairy tales. You're in hell. Wonders beyond human expectations. A wonderland where there is no place for Laura to run, no place to hide. And Laura following the light, leading her towards a set of ancient stairs going deeper into this realm. Courageous, ignorant, like a moth fluttering into a flame. Laura trying to deny the inevitable of her situation. In hell, everything can go your way. In losing her balance after the curious and pitiful minions of this realm began enjoying the taste of delicious flesh from her hand, that fear within Laura had now evolved with blind courage and a madness as she held Andy tightly in her arms. Laura was now trying to contain her sanity after roughly landing to the bottom of the stairs. To not lose focus of her situation. Yes, Laura's afraid, but at least she's stronger now. Stronger than she ever was, and stronger than Jack. Strong enough to believe, to convince herself that she can escape this place with her son. And yet, Laura's strength was not enough to ignore that inner fear. The sounds of industrial metal and inhumane grunting in the far distance of the ancient corridor, giving Laura a reminder of the nightmarish reality of her situation. Laura is no hero in this place, only prey, delicious meat for the wonders of hell. And Laura gazing at the sight of the beast with awe and horror, gouged eyes, a bloated form carrying a metal crate of collected bodies by a giant metal hook piercing through its chest cavity. The sight of the creature could only be described with pain, suffering, and a nature to hunt things that did not belong in hell, such as mothers and infant children. The monster had no eyes. It didn't need eyes to hunt what bleeds and reeks with fear. The scent and taste of Laura's blood is very strong here. Her untempered flesh is a delicacy. Run, Laura. Run as far as you like. No matter where you go, or what you do, there is no escape. Hell is full of surprises. But so is Laura. And wiping her blood on Andy's shoe, in an attempt to divert the creature from her trail by tossing the shoe further down the flight of wooden stairs, Laura held her child tightly as she heard the creature's inhumane shuffling growing louder, painfully making its way past her. A fear that Andy's whimper would reveal her position, and slowly, the creature shuffled past her, its senses following Andy's bloodied shoe, and even though Laura had escaped the monster, hell is still full of surprises. It wasn't there before. Presented right before her was the Cenobite sisters standing before a giant door. It took a while before Laura understood the purpose of the door, and Laura finally accepting the reality of her situation. There is no escape. This place will not let you go unless it wants to. And as Laura approached the sisters, holding her child tightly, no matter what, Laura will not be leaving without her child. Laura Kendall ventured into hell out of vanity, but her journey must come with a choice. Behind this door awaits Laura's freedom, but the child cannot leave. Nothing can be done for that. And the sisters will not stop Laura. For taking the child through that door, Laura will lose her freedom. And the Cenobite sisters, aware of Laura's determination to leave with their child, may be experiencing a hint of admiration, a scheme to work things out in Leviathan's favor. There is the option for Laura to stay in hell. Yes, maybe they'll make a game of it and see what unfolds. That if Laura chooses to stay in hell, a mother who's willing to protect her child, to see him grow strong, maybe, just maybe, Andy could be strong enough to escape. But Laura will not have that opportunity for freedom. For this will be the moment when she thinks back, when freedom was hers for the taking. But her freedom is gone now. Hell is forever. Will Laura Kendall bind herself to this agreement? Reluctantly, Laura accepted. For Andy, she will do anything and go through anything for her child. And the twin sisters opening the door as Laura began walking towards the bathing light, holding her child tightly in her arms. Welcome to grief. Welcome to pain. Welcome to hell. Welcome home, Laura Kendall. You can't imagine the expectations of pain and suffering that would be inflicted upon Laura, a woman who was prepared for anything, and yet her courage, her determination hindered by a crippling fear when walking into Andy's room, greeted by a familiar voice, a voice that was once loving. Jack knew that Laura would come back. She always comes back to him. It's not like she has anywhere else to go. She has nobody, nothing, but Jack. And Jack is going to make sure she will be damn sorry for what she did. And when Laura set Andy down, that was when little Andy took his first step, standing on his own.
All men dream, but not equally. Those who dream by night in the dusty recesses of their minds wake in the day to find that it was vanity. But the dreamers of the day are dangerous men, for they may act their dream with open eyes to make it possible. This